This video explains the real problems in identification and traceability, why vendor traceability is the weakest link, how AMTC helps OEMs build supply chain stability through the right technology, data history, and experience. In today's manufacturing world, traceability is no longer optional. It is a requirement for quality, compliance, and customer trust. Yet many companies still struggle with identification and traceability, not because they lack machines, but because they lack a structured approach. This video explains the real problems in identification and traceability, why vendor traceability is the weakest link, and how AMTC helps OEMs build supply chain stability through the right technology, data history, and experience. An OEM depends on multiple suppliers. Quality, delivery, and compliance depend on vendor performance. Without traceability, OEMs cannot see what is happening beyond Tier 1. Tier 1 suppliers receive parts from Tier 2 vendors. If Tier 2 uses non-standard identification, Tier 1 cannot guarantee traceability to the OEM. At Tier 2 and Tier 3 level, challenges increase. Manual marking, duplicate serial numbers, no data history. One small mistake here can impact the entire supply chain. When a defect occurs, OEM asks one question: which vendor supplied this part? Without proper identification and data history, the answer is unclear. This is where AMTC plays a critical role. Since 2012, AMTC has helped OEMs standardize identification and traceability across vendors. What is identification versus traceability? Identification means marking a part with a serial number, code, or data. Traceability means connecting that identification to data, history, and accountability. Many companies stop at marking. True traceability begins after marking. Without proper traceability, problems cannot be traced to the source. Vendors cannot be controlled. Recalls become expensive. OEM brand reputation is at risk. Major problem: vendor traceability. Vendor traceability is one of the biggest challenges in manufacturing. An OEM may have multiple Tier 1 suppliers. Each Tier 1 may have multiple Tier 2 vendors. Tier 2 further depends on Tier 3 suppliers. If even one vendor uses manual marking, non-standard serial numbers, duplicate codes, or no data linkage, then the entire traceability chain breaks. In many cases, OEM does not know which vendor supplied which part. Root cause analysis becomes guesswork. Corrective actions are delayed. Vendor accountability is lost. This is where most traceability systems fail. Our machine alone cannot solve this. Buying a marking machine does not create traceability. Different vendors use different technologies: dot peen, laser, manual punch. Without standardization, codes are unreadable, data is inconsistent, scanners fail, software cannot link records. Traceability needs system thinking, not isolated machines. AMTC approach experience since 2012. Asian Machine Tool Corporation Private Limited, AMTC, has been working in identification and traceability solutions since 2012. With more than a decade of experience, AMTC understands OEM expectations and vendor realities. Our experienced team does not start with machines. We start with application study. We analyze part material and surface, production volume, vendor capability level, environmental conditions, OEM compliance requirements. Only after this study, we recommend the most suitable and sustainable solution. AMTC standardization model, dot peen laser 2D code automation software. AMTC studies each vendor application grids and provides the right marking technology, not the same solution for everyone. Supply chain stability for OEM. With AMTC solutions, OEMs can establish stability across the entire supply chain. Standardized marking across vendors. Unified serial logic. Centralized data history. Vendor performance tracking. Long-term traceability compliance. This creates transparency, accountability, continuous improvement, brand protection. Traceability becomes a strategic advantage, not a cost. Data history layer. Each marked part is linked to data: vendor ID, batch number, date and time, inspection status. This data is stored in traceability software. Data history is not just storage. It is visibility, control, and confidence across the supply chain. At the OEM level, data history provides complete visibility of every part. OEMs can instantly know which vendor produced the part, when it was manufactured, and under what conditions. This allows faster decisions, accurate recalls, and protection of brand reputation. Without data history, traceability is incomplete. At the Tier 1 level, data history creates accountability. Tier 1 suppliers can track incoming parts from Tier 2 vendors, verify marking quality, and ensure compliance before assembly. If an issue is detected, and immediately isolate the affected batch instead of stopping the entire production line. This improves delivery performance and reduces rejection costs. At the Tier 2 and Tier 3 level, data history builds discipline and maturity. Even small vendors gain structured identification, standard serial logic, and digital records. This helps vendors prove compliance to OEMs, improve process control, and become reliable long-term partners. Vendor traceability becomes measurable. Why data history is critical during failures? Failures are not a question of if, but when. When a defect occurs, data history answers critical questions instantly. Which vendor supplied the part? Which batch is affected? How many parts are in the field? Instead of panic, OEMs get clarity. Root cause analysis becomes faster. Corrective actions become precise. Production resumes with confidence. AMTC traceability software, practical, not complex. AMTC provides data history software designed for real factory environments. Simple data capture. Works with dot peen and laser. Supports barcode and 2D code. Scalable from one machine to multiple vendors. Easy integration with OEM systems. Scalable from one machine to multiple vendors. Easy integration with OEM systems. Our focus is adoption, not complexity. Software must work for vendors, not scare them. Why OEMs trust AMTC? AMTC has worked closely with OEMs and vendors across industries. Our strength is experience. We understand real-world challenges, different vendor capabilities, cost pressures, and compliance demands. We don't sell machines. We build systems. We don't push technology. We create stability. Traceability is a strategy, identification is the first step, traceability is the journey. Vendor traceability is the backbone of a stable supply chain. With the right marking, the right data history, and the right partner, traceability becomes a competitive advantage. Asian Machine Tool Corporation Private Limited, your trusted partner for identification and traceability since 2012. Because experience builds stability, and stability builds trust.